to greet you in the wonderment of this day and ask for you to always seek alignment first from the heart center. For when you start the day in this way, you connect differently than were you to simply engage mentally or look at your laptop or computer, phone, tablet, TV. You would engage from the heart space. And in doing so, when you move away from those other distractions, you will enable more to be and more to flow seamlessly back to your life and into the activities that you prefer, once focused upon that area, if only briefly. And so know that grounding, becoming aligned, and being in that space of wanting for the day to be more than it might be otherwise, you then put out into trajectory and into the world of form that which you seek to know, that which is your intention for the day. And in moving forward the intention with attention, you then make manifest more. And so this day, we look to the understanding that when one has a mental breakdown of sorts, has a urge to lash out in a most unnecessary way, if you can, especially if you are the recipient, take a step back and not engage with what is being volleyed your way. Let the ball drop. Let it sit dormant as opposed to engaging and rallying back that ball. For in many regards, it is that which the one who sought to engage you in that sort of discussion needed to hear for themselves. And there may be a component of truth in what is being shared. And so you might look there also to see if there is something that you could improve upon or look upon in a different way than perhaps before. But recognize mainly that when there is that mental disturbance, that overarching need to lash out upon another, if you are the one that is leading that discussion, might you take note of what you are getting ready to say and to do it in a more contemplative way, and to pause and to consider before the eruption occurs that this need not be. For when there is that angst within, when there is that strong feeling to let another know that they have done something amiss or not to your level of understanding or in the standing that you might prefer, might you recognize that there may be a message and a gift for you individually, more so than the one who you are seeking to correct. And so when you can look upon life in the wonderment that it is, when you can even move past the occurrence, when it halts your steps, when you wonder why you did as you did and how you lost such control, and perhaps there is even a degree of embarrassment of what you did, and you mock yourself for having lost control, but yet that feeling, that resonance of the feeling still persists, and you know that what was said was right and just and so, might you pause and perhaps even sleep on it and ask the next day, in the morning when you are fresh and not encumbered by the mental thoughts you are thinking, might you then ask inwardly what this thing really was to be and what you were to understand from the understanding that you tried to impose upon another. And so when you can move in this manner, when you can look at the folly of what is being discussed and suggested, and recognize that there may be a component of that within yourself that you are not able to see at this time, but that you can so plainly see in this other one. And so is this not a gift? And yes, they may digress, and yes, they may be doing this and such incorrectly, and yes, they may have room for improvement. But would there be another way to share such information rather than in the negativisms and the angst energy that you feel and project upon them? For it is much easier to put that energy upon another rather than the self-reflection that may have existed but was non-existent in your being and world in the life that you lead. And so when one can recognize that all of these steps are gifts, all of these disruptions and interruptions and melancholy or boistering energy, when you can recognize that these things are given in a way that you are meant to wonder and ponder and consider how it was and how it is that you have become such a negative individual for such a brief time when you do not normally reach out or interject with others in this way. And so see this individual, this occurrence, and the happenings as a gift. For if they did not exist, you would continue in the pathway that you had continued before. And they may continue in the pathway that they had before. And if what you have said to them has no bearing or truth within it, then they might simply allow that energy to roll over and through them without insult or injury. Because it is not about them at all, but about the one who is putting forward the message. And so look at the duality that might be in existence in this level of play, and consider what each thing is and what its purpose and point of being might be. And so we greet you with this day in the wonderment of the day and all that might be. And we ask for you to look at life in the wonderment that it is, and to recognize that more will be given in time. And it is simply that you ask the questions at a time appropriate for you to do so. And as we look forward to the opportunity to share more in the coming month and months of this year, might you consider joining and being a part of this discovery? For you see, when questions are not considered, how can they be asked? And so when there is that pondering and wondering, and you release that question and wonder what it might be and what the answer might be, we suggest that you reach out and ask that question now. Ask it here, ask it in the future, ask so that more might be this day. And so we ask that you look upon life at the level of play in which you engage, and consider each step and a bit more along the way as you delve into all that might be and all that is moving forward into this nowness of time.